Welcome back, everyone, to another Mondays with Micah. I have my very special guest, Judy Hawkins Dunn, here today. We are recording this in December after our second annual Christmas party. And I said, Judy, we need to get on here right after because we can reflect more in present moment. But this is the last Monday of 2026. And I said, Judy, you need to come on here. We need to give an account of what has been going on over the last year. The Widow Walk was established back in 2024. Judy pretty much came in from the jump. This is God's grace to me and gift to me. That her and her husband said, we want to come alongside you. The team is growing. It is a slow grow, but I think what I have learned is that when things grow intentionally and slowly, the foundation is stronger, the roots are going deeper, and the probability of being able to be strong in the growth process is very high. So I'm thankful for what we have done. And Judy, can you just give us an account, a little bit of what 2025 has been for the Widow Walk, some reflection that you have?
I think looking back over the year, we did a lot of reflecting. We did a lot of reflecting on 2024, what we did, what worked well, what didn't work well. We found that we wanted to be consistent with things that we did, and we wanted, when we had the Walk of Love in February of 2024, it was a game changer.
Well, it was actually March 1st.
Oh, March
25. It was this year.
Yeah, okay.
We projected in 24.
Yeah.
March 1st, 2025.
March 1st, and we had to reschedule that because we had a snowstorm. And it was just phenomenal. And then all through the year, when Micah would be out and about, when we would have our Widow Walk gatherings. We had 2 each month. We had a nighttime one and a daytime one. That's all people talked about was the Walk of Love, how special it was, how nice it was, how good the food was, the friends that people met, and we were just, it made us want to do it again.
That's right.
To be able to do it again. We had a Christmas party last year, but we had a Christmas party this year as well. And we met at Serve, and we were pretty much double the amount of people that we had the year before. We were able to give away poinsettias and send poinsettias out to other people to keep this going, that we just want to change how people, well, not we, but we want to be able to help people change that perception of a widow or a widower, and just be able to, each one of us be able to minister to them. And Micah said this is a slow growth process, and I think it's we didn't intentionally make it slow, but I think God's helped it to be slow, because I still work full time, Micah still works full time, Micah has children at home, and there's a lot of things that we can't do. And Micah and I both have had health concerns that we get really, really tired when certain things happen, and we're doing a lot, and God just helps us, and he still blesses us. And the Christmas party, we really saw that our widows and widowers are perceiving things differently. And I think we may have thought to begin with that we were trying to change a worldview or a church view or a community view, and we're actually changing the view of the widow and widower themselves. Wow. And when they come to the gatherings, when they come to a Christmas party, and just to see the smiles on their faces, and something as small as a poinsettia, how it brightens their day and makes them, feel good about themselves, and makes them think that they, hey, I can take this to someone else, and I can, minister to someone else and help someone else with their day. I appreciate the opportunity that Micah has given me. Micah and I are different. You can see our clothes right now. We are different as night and day. And years ago, there was a movie with Clint Eastwood. I think it was called Horse Whisperer, I think is what it was. And in that movie, there was two lady characters. One was a woman in Montana on the ranch, and then there's a woman from New York. Well, I'm going to tell you what. I was born in Montana. I'm the ranch woman from Montana, and this here is the New York gal.
And I'm a city girl born in the country. That's what I literally tell people. I said I'm a city girl born in the country.
But for some reason, we kind of go together like this. She has ideas, I have ideas. We're able to talk those things through, and it might work, it might not work, and that's been phenomenal to me. Mike has helped me a lot, even with things that I have going on health-wise, to just walk through it, because it's been difficult.
Awesome. I mean, I love that example, that it just shows that you don't have to be similar to be creative. And actually, I think sometimes our opposites are what has really been the synergy of this whole thing, is that Judy has her experience of walking through loss. She shared today that it's been 11 years and that she's still walking through grief, especially in the holiday time of year. And this year I lost my father-in-law, and grief came crashing down on me after his funeral. Something that I was not really fully expecting, and came more intense than I wanted to experience, but yet we are still here. We are still here, and I love what she said also about changing the narrative, not just for people in this community, and we hope to spread that understanding that widows, we may feel like they're resilient, widowers are resilient, but a friend of mine gave me this picture that said dream big and bigger. And I told this to a family recently, that in the climax of loss in our life, in those moments where you're really getting hit with humanity, I believe that it is the biggest access point for us to ask God for our dreams and to dream bigger. That may be different than most widows and widowers. They're thinking, how can I keep moving forward? They're looking at the present. And the present is the struggle with when you lose a spouse, because the daily chores or the daily roles change, and the demands on a widow and widower increase. And I know for me personally, I did not deal with anxiety before my husband passed. I now have bouts of anxiety, and I tell people it's like this little fan, this little ticker, and there's this anxiety fan that ticks on, and then you have to figure out how to get it back off again. And that can be frustrating. And walking through health issues, these health issues have increased since our husbands passed. Part of our grief education here at the Widow Walk is to advocate and to encourage you to go, when in doubt, get checked out. Go and have the appointments. Take your friend with you. It may save your life. It may save your friend's life. The sooner you catch things, the sooner they can protect you from a bigger case, meaning like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, all these different stages. We're walking through stages of grief. It overlaps with our health too. And I want to believe and speak to you today that there's vitality on the back end of grief. It did not happen overnight. We're still struggling to say we are daily having vitality. I personally can't say in 2025 that I'm living with vitality and thriving. I wouldn't say I'm thriving. I wouldn't say I'm just surviving either. I'm somewhere in the middle. And I just want to reflect a little bit more, Judy, but just so you know, we've been meeting once a month. We were doing twice last fall this time. Then in the spring, we started to kind of talk with the widows, and they said, we really don't like to drive at night. And so we are so thankful that the fire department has opened it up for us to be able to meet there. And there's just a different energy at the fire department. And there's more light in the room, and we've had some amazing conversations. There has been tears, there has been prayer every single time. And we've had good food there. We've been able to bless the fire department at different times. And there's just something about gratitude. I just want to thank you, the listeners. We have over 80 videos on YouTube. I can't believe that myself. I haven't even really gotten out of Southampton County at this point, and I've been able to interview that many widows and widowers. That seems high to me personally, but what I can say is I'm encouraged after every story. The God in their story, God is present in every story that I have gotten to interview. It has encouraged my faith. It lets me know that He is present. He is near to the brokenhearted. The scripture talks about that. But to hear evidence of a brokenhearted widow, of how God showed up in the reflection, the hindsight of walking through loss, has been so beautiful. And I'm just excited. I just feel like there's more to explore in 2026. Judy, what do you say?
Yeah, I believe that as well. And I sitting here listening to Micah talk about those things. We're really, really close to having our first book together finished that, could possibly be going off to the publisher pretty soon. And that's exciting. It's just been amazing to me to watch what has happened in the 2 years or 2 years
Less.
that Widow Walk has been established. And so someone made a comment to me at our annual Christmas party. It's a little hard for Micah and I to ask for money, to ask for donations. We can't do any of this without money. I would like to say that we're beautiful, but beauty is not going to get us where we, it's not going to pay the bills. And
Hasn't worked so far.
Yeah, someone made the comment that when you ask for a donation, when people give money, that they are actually being able to be a part of this. And we have people that make regular donations monthly. We have people that do end of year donations, through the year donations. And I don't know who they all are, but God does, and you have a part in us being able to be together with widows and widowers. And today, I was praying with someone as they had tears of grief over losing their husband, and you make that possible.
Thank you.
You make that possible, and from the depths of our hearts, we appreciate what you have done to make this possible. And we're here because God has put us here, and we'll be here until He has a plan to change that plan.
That's right.
And you're part of this, and we appreciate everything that you do. And if you're wanting to make a donation to the Widow Walk Foundation, we are a 501(c) nonprofit, and it's a tax deductible charitable contribution that you would make. And we appreciate everything, because we see it grow, but we're seeing it grow at God's pace and what how He wants it to happen, how He wants people to be touched. And that's just a blessing. He's not doing it the way we want it done.
Right.
He's doing it how He wants it done, and we appreciate that. And we just, we've been listening to God and following His plan. And we had 2 meetings this past year, and we're down to 1. And that, I don't know if there's more energy there because those are firefighters there and they are putting out their energy. I don't know, but it's a wonderful meeting that we have, and sometimes there's a lot of people, sometimes they're not. But we're not only what we do is not only with our Widow Walk meeting or gathering. It's our podcasts, it's our Instagram, it's our Facebook, and all those things are getting the word out. And you know, it could be just a couple of sentences or a picture that touches somebody's heart that day of what they need.
And I mean, that's really it. And so you may be seeing us. We got to do some local events this year in the spring. We had the Spring Fest, which is our Main Street downtown, if you want to say, festival, where we have all the booths. Judy continues to do things and step out, and I really think it's faith. If God has brought us together with anything, it's the gift of faith. But this past fall, we had the Fall Festival, and we had stickers made that had our little design on it. And there are so many booths here with artisans selling different things, and we're not selling anything. We're really just here as a resource in this community. I said, I don't know if we're missionaries. Some people want to call it a ministry. We call it a resource. Whatever you want to call us. Boots on the ground, here to really get around this community called widows and widowers, the portion of this community that is grieving. There's others that are grieving as well, and I'm thankful for the resources in this community that hit on grieving parents who lost a child, so there is other resources. But she got from behind the booth this fall and started giving out stickers. And when she talks about the energy, her stepping out from behind the table, the activity went up. And the next thing you know, people were coming up. We had over 11 sign up. Not all of them live here. They were traveling from Suffolk, Ahoskie, Murfreesboro. They were, you know, pretty much within a 45-minute radius. Some of them got to share their widow stories. We got to pray with people. One had surgery. And so not everyone that we meet is choosing to come and be a part of a monthly meeting. That does seem to be a little bit harder, even with your own storyline, to say I'm a widow in a meeting. Has kind of a negative connotation. It's not a book club. For some reason, a book club seems easier to be a part of than a widows group. So that has been just a stigma in itself, and I've had to communicate to people that this is not this crying pity party group that are complaining about their life. That is not what's happening in our meetings, y'all. I just have to let you know that we're bringing a level of honesty. I have a little more energy, if you want to say, or pep or something like that. But then all of a sudden Judy starts speaking, and if you felt it, there's strength in her words, there's strength in her prayers. She has said things to certain people that literally felt like from God's ears to her mouth came out. And that is where there is a spiritual component to this widow walk that I do not ever want to lose. I feel like it's the birthing ground for the growth that we have. We're cultivating a place that is sacred, a place that you feel special, that you feel seen, that you walk away feeling more loved and appreciated than you did walking in. Is there anything more you want to share with what? Thank you again for the book. I mean, this book, there's a book being birthed out of Judy. We're working together, but she's really taking more of the point to start each chapter, and then I'm adding a little, you know, bow, crossing a T, dotting an I, maybe a little flair here and there, but it is coming out, and we are running into widows on a daily basis, okay? There has been more loss that we've walked with others with this year, and they have not all been easy, okay? So we are not, we haven't figured this thing out completely. No. We have cried many tears this year. We have had to hug those that are going through loss. And my encouragement to you, and I sent a post out recently that wasn't my own, that said, be the first responder. I really believe here at the Widow Walk that us coming together is a strengthening place for us so that we can go back out and be more mindful of not just our stories, but the widows and widowers around us. And that the more we work together, grieving together makes everything better because you know that you have support. You have anything else to finish up here this morning?
I think I've said pretty much
Okay.
everything that I have, but it's been good. Even though it's hard, it's been good. And I shared at our Christmas party, I never would have thought 11 and a half years ago that I would be able to sit here and talk to you, nonetheless, keep from crying or be in a position that I was helping someone else. And here we are.
Yeah.
And it's an incredible ride, incredible journey, and we want you to take that journey with us.
We would love to speak in some of your churches. If you are not doing anything locally to support the widows in your congregation, checking on them, we can't make all the phone calls. Like she said, we have full-time jobs. I'm still raising teenagers. They have sports. And yet God has given us the capacity to do what we have been able to do. But our dreams are to go bigger than this, and that means we need you. Support financially is so helpful. We are going to be doing the Walk of Love Gathering, second annual. Hopefully, we are tentatively putting it for February 28th. And that is also something that we do not want to ask the widow and widower to pay for the event. We will be asking for an offering at the end. That is something we did not do last year because we just felt like we wanted for once for a widow to not have to think about anything and to be able to sit down and receive. That you may think, well, gosh, they have all day to do whatever they want. What demands does a widow have? Let me just tell you, it doubles. Even with these older people, and we don't want you to really know the burden that it is to walk a widow's walk or a widower's walk all the time. We would rather put a smile on our face and cry in our home privately. I am here and wanting to let you know that we don't need to be crying alone privately, and that we can come together and support each other, because there's something that happens when you cry in community, a safe place for you to share your feelings, positive or negative. But Valentine's Day can be another hard holiday to walk through, and this was birthed out of love. I posted on my Instagram today, love wins, Judy. Love wins. And faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. Love remains. When our spouses move on to eternity, if they've asked Jesus into their heart, then the Spirit's still alive, Judy. There's a spirit to Christmas. We hear these terms, the spirit of Christmas. What is it? It's merriment, it's activity, it's lights, it's Santa coming through, and the different kinds of things that bring merriment or joy. I believe that the Widow Walk is also a place where there's merriment, there's laughter, there's joy, there is some tears, but I'm pulling out of these ladies and gentlemen the joy that grief tries to rob you from in your future. It is not the only way to grieve. And joy is your portion this holiday season. If you are struggling to find joy, get in touch with us here at the Widow Walk. Our phone number is available. You can email us. We would love to pray with you. Some of us, sometimes we can't even come and visit you. We have asked the widows here today to take some poinsettias to the ones that could not come from health issues or feeling not well. If you know of someone if you know of a widow or widower that you think needs some support and they have not contacted us, you can contact us and we will get in touch with them in your behalf. So this is a team effort. I'm excited for 2026. Stay tuned for more. Check on your neighbors and your close friends. Even if it's been 11 years, Judy still likes to get checked on to say, how are you doing? I can say this for the widows that I've talked to. People have asked, is it okay to still ask about their spouse? How are they doing? What I want to tell you is, every widow and widower that I know, when they're asked a question about the spouse, they appreciate it because they're being remembered. They do not want their spouse to be forgotten, or that our life now is without them. And we've even heard kids say, "You're moving on. I don't want you to forget Daddy," because you're moving on. Even those that remarry, something that's happening that makes their mind feel like Daddy's in the past, he's gone, and how do we continue to bring him into our present, but not staying in a grieved state? So this is the fascinating thing for me, y'all, about the tension of both and. That we're still carrying a portion of grief inside of us, the awareness that our spouse is not here. But we're also excited about what he's doing in our present, and we are hoping that you can hear the vision in our hearts about what the future Widow Walk is. We're not done. We haven't even really gotten started.
No, we haven't.
So this is Laura Ann Allen, and in September we met. She is not officially a board member at this point, but she is our social media content creator. This has been a desire of my heart. I've told Judy I cannot do it all. I don't want to do it all. I need somebody that has the same vision, that has a passion for Jesus, that has a passion for the lost. And it took me this summer doing that grief education series and trying to get into some different areas of wellness that this connection happened. I was at Cathara this summer, and the owner, Emily, just said, "Are you looking for more social media posts?" I said, "Yes." And she said, "I need you to meet this girl, Laura Ann." We spent 2 hours on the phone praying. I mean, it was just a lot of energy that came. It was like 2 balls of fire combusting together. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like, if she doesn't think I'm crazy, then this is going to be a really good partnership. And I am so thankful. She's like, "This is God." I'm like, "This is God." It's an organic thing. She's a stay-at-home mom. She married a farmer. I'm like, she's walked through different losses. I've been able to pray with her. She just had recent losses in some family members. So it's like, it's moms. We're moms. She's got young children. So it's like a big sister. And she is continuing to network in our behalf with the Widow Walk. Her brain started really ticking on. I was talking about that little fan that went on. Well, that happened in her brain. She's like, "How can we connect you here and connect you here and connect you here?" She is going to be part of our growth for 2026. So no, Micah is not the one posting all these videos. No, Micah's not editing these blogs. Y'all think I do all this stuff, and it's really nice that you think I know how to do all this stuff. No, Micah loves to delegate. Micah wants a team. Micah wants to work with people. And so I am thankful that the three, and Drew is in the background, Judy's husband, he has been instrumental to support and to pray. And he is pastoring and praying with widows and widowers on the side as part of his job. So there's more than meets the eye is what I'm here to say. But Laura Ann, what can you share since you've come on with this resource to finish this video for 2025? What are you feeling when we first talked, and what you've gotten to witness over the last 3 months?
So I have experienced so much just in the last couple of months, and I cannot say that it's because of the flesh. I can say that it's because of God. I have been walking through what am I going to do when my son goes to school, and God is opening up doors, with Micah and with, other people in the community and outside of Franklin, Virginia, even in North Carolina. I am a people person. I love networking and connecting people. If I don't know someone else knows someone else that does, and that's how I connect the dots for it to work. And so coming into the Widow Walk and seeing firsthand speaking with, with widows and widowers and meeting new people. It has been absolutely game changer for me. Y'all, I'm 30 years old and I am still blessed to have my husband. I'm still blessed to have majority of my grandparents. Unfortunately, we just lost my grandfather. But I look at death in a way of that it's not the end. It's not the end. I look at death as, that person is going to be with the Lord, and that's a homecoming. That is what I see it as. And so, but I did not used to look at death that way, okay? Until I started giving my life more to God and started, being in the Word more and studying more. I'm opening my eyes up at such a young age of what Jesus is about, and what the Widow Walk and their mission is, but also to know that with this Widow Walk organization, when you're giving, when you're donating, you are donating with your heart, because the heart of these two ladies and the heart of the Widow Walk is just literally, they pour their heart and soul into every single event that they do, or a vendor event that they have going on locally. If Micah's doing the blogs, that's her heart and soul. It's her time. It's her time away from her kids. It's time that she has to sit on a computer, and she learns time management. That's what we learn. We learn also time management in what we're doing, and we have to lean on one another. And that's what I've learned from the Widow Walk, is that we lean in with community. And God created us not to be alone. The enemy wants you to be alone, but God created us to be together in community with one another when life things happen like death. And so I'm very, very inspired. I'm very encouraged. I am talking about the Widow Walk to everyone. I actually, in my experience, I've actually started noticing widows and widowers in my experience. And so I'm actually, waitressing part-time in Murfreesboro at an Italian restaurant, and if there's, a man or a woman like sitting by themselves, okay, that's a conversation starter right there. And so if you're local to North Carolina, if you're local to Virginia, Franklin, Southampton area, Widow Walk wants to branch. Widow Walk wants to reach out. Widow Walk wants to expand territory. It will make us stretch, but it will stretch us in ways that it will be for the good. And so I am just incredibly grateful for the opportunity to work with Micah, to be with Micah, to learn about her. Now, getting to meet Judy face to face. This is the first time that we have met. And when you are surrounded with people that will uplift you, encourage you, pray over you, doors just start happening left and right, and they will open for you. And so I encourage you that if you're someone who is grieving this holiday season, or if you're someone that's grieving after the holidays, again, we're getting ready to be in seasonal depression, okay? That's really huge, okay? Seasonal depression is a huge thing. Reach out to someone, okay? Text someone, hey, you want to go grab a cup of coffee? Hey, you want to go get a bite to eat? Or if you know someone that just dealt with loss, reach out to them, and not only just reach out to them, but make the initiative to go do it, okay? Because it's so easy to say, hey, call me if you need me. I don't really know, what I can do for you, but I'll do my best, because people don't know how to handle the situations in a way when we have, death in our families or death in our life, that it's hard. It's a hard topic, and I know people don't want to have the hard conversations sometimes, but it's really important that we do have the hard conversations, because there's healing out of the hard conversations, and there's tears, there's laughter, and like Micah and Judy, like they're saying it's healing, it's joy, it's happiness. Like the widow walk is not just, you know, you're crying all the time, you're talking bad about something, you know, this is a positive empowerment. This is a positive movement for widows and widowers. And so, yeah, I'm just really excited. I'm excited about y'all's book. Like, that is exciting. You know, there's more to come in 2026, you know, with our three brains now, we get to get together and have some fun and strategize on how to get the Widow Walk out there even more. And, you know, please like, share, subscribe. You know, we're doing this on social media to get it out.
Right.
That's where you come along.
That's right.
And you like YouTube, you like Spotify, you like Facebook, Instagram. And so, again, you have the ability to share and connect with others just sitting in your home by connecting the Widow Walk with others. So thank you so much, ladies, for having me today. It was a pleasure. I'm excited to get to work. I have work to have to
That's
do.
right. She has work.
Yeah.
She's
Thank
been
you.
videoing. I mean, can you hear the passion that Laura Ann has? And I'm not surprised to hear that. The thing is, I've heard this said, like, when you buy a new car, you're like, you never see that car.
Yep.
And then you get the new car and you're like, oh my gosh, like the car's everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
and there's this awareness that
Yeah.
happens when you pay attention.
Yeah.
And so here at the Widow Walk, we're asking you to pay attention to the widows and widowers in your church and be the one who takes that extra step and does something for those. I'm telling you, it'll bring joy to your heart. I'm telling you, it will add generosity and abundance seems to find you when you're obedient to the thought. And the last thing I just really wanted to share is that, I mean, we're getting calls, y'all, out of state calls from people wanting to know what to do. And the only way I can explain that is by talking with you. The more I learn and glean from your story, the more wisdom, I guess we can say, I'm pulling your wisdom and people are contacting and calling. And then to know that if Judy gets in a situation that she can call and say, what do you think we should do here? And it takes that anxiety away sometimes when you know that you can call out. And yes, we're calling out on the Lord. He's the one continuing to, he believes in this. I truly believe that it was a God-sent idea, birthed out of loss, to share with others, to flip the narrative that we're not lowly, second-class citizens to just exist until we meet Jesus one day. That there's purpose in our lives. There's younger and younger widows that are happening for whatever reason, and we have the resources. We're growing resources like this book to be able to hand something to you. I have a dream for care packages, y'all, where we have original content. We're putting together customized, happy little care packages that you can order online and ship to where you need to go. T-shirts, we have ideas about a t-shirt. If you think you would like a t-shirt like this, we need you to comment below. But Judy kept saying stuff, and I'm like, Judy, you did that. Like, man, you did that. There's something empowering to say, you did that. She thought about maybe having a flower farm. Judy had a flower farm. Step of Faith Flower Farm this summer. She did that. She did that. I had a desire to finish a song. I did that. I had a desire to connect with some other social media people who had a faith understanding and a missional mind. The Lord is doing that. It's taken time. Why are we explaining all of this? Because we have to just tell you, if you have a dream in your heart, do it. Life is too short to have regrets that you never stepped out with that one thing. What's the worst that can happen? It fails. And then what? You learned some lessons and it directed you into the next part of your season and your story. That's for us too. We're not saying we're going to be here for the next 35 years doing this, but what we are saying is, at least for me personally, I'm having conversations in Kitty Hawk. I'm having conversations in South Hill. My mind feels like there's supposed to be these little lighthouses in different areas, small towns especially, where there is maybe potentially more widows and widowers with less resource, that we are looking out for each other. That is what the design of the heart on the Widow Walk is all about. That gingham check is to a message for those who may not know it. It's not just a cute picture. It's not just a cute heart. It is to say, check, we're checking on you. The check is not to check the box. The check is a message of checking on each other. I'm checking on her. That's friendship. Friendship is looking out for each other, being concerned about each other, having compassion for each other, to have empathy when hardships happen. We can't just keep pressing through the work day and get a phone call and hear it and forget about it and never follow up with them again. I am guilty of that. I am guilty of not following up with my friends when they called out for help. And we are learning along the way that we're better together. And, you know, Judy has these bells here. I mean, come on, ring those bells. What's that song? Come on, ring those bells. Everybody sings. Jesus is the King, born for you and me. Oh, come on, ring those bells. Everybody sing. Jesus, we remember it's your birthday. That's cool, I like that. Okay, all right. We got some singers here. And that's how it happens here on the Widow Walk. It's on the cuff, off the cuff, I mean. And she's a singer, Laura Ann can sing. And look, if you come to the Widow Walk gatherings, we just may have a little trio for you. You just don't know. Stay tuned for what's new and what's next in 2026. Like, share. The more we can share this with our mouth and with our little click on our phones, the wider the scope this is going in the algorithms. We would like to say we don't care about any of that, but we do care because we are trying to share it further and further out. We're going back on the Hampton Road Show to share about this. It gives me life. It's part of my healing to be able to say, look what the Lord has done. And every face we get to meet is another face that the Lord has touched, is another face that we feel touched by. And it feels a little bit like being touched by an angel. See you in 2026, everyone. Bye.